intelligence becomes increasingly central to our world, decentralization promises to redefine its potential and purpose. Pavan Agarwal, CEO of AngelAi, is at the forefront of this movement. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hello, everybody. So, AI and blockchain need to come together, like the old Turtle song, so happy together. And that's the way to really get blockchain decentralization into everyone's pocket, everyone's phone. Everyone should have a decentralized wallet. And so some of the celebrities here that we're interacting with and working with, they see the vision. These are mainstream celebrities. They're part of our vision and our mission to deliver value and financial freedom for all Americans, and basically the whole world. So the journey starts with the real estate and finance side of our house. So $180 billion a year is lost in the real estate industry due to lack of trust. So roughly $2 trillion of real estate is traded every year, and of that, 9% is lost in commissions, both real estate and mortgage commissions, and that's all due to trust management. So if you move the real estate transaction on chain, you can save $180 billion, and that's what we've developed. So we're right now about to launch Angel Wallet, which is an AI chat-based wallet system. So you chat and keep your digital assets secure on chain, okay? And we're gonna talk about how this connects into the larger ecosystem of real estate assets, lending, full financial security, and creating your own twins. So this product's been in full production since 2018, and this has been the growth. We have over right now 137,000 users on the platform. These are Main Street users. These are your neighborhood mechanic, your waiter, your small business owner, CPA, accountant. These are the kind of people that are using the product, and it's in full production. You can go to right now askangel.ai, and you can start chatting with her and ask her financial questions or ask her to get you a home mortgage. One of the things that we launched earlier this year was, and again, the goal is to get Angel AI, get blockchain decentralization into everyone's hands. And we got to start from helping the people who need the help the most. So we launched free credit repair in June. So basically essentially the cost of running a credit report, you can get your credit repaired, and the AI does all of the repair services. And we're also, along with mortgages, we've got full suite of banking services, insurance services, and putting all this on chain. So the next big launch that we're coming out later this year is payday loans. And I know no one in this crowd probably needs a payday loan, but there's a lot of people who get stuck in a cycle of poverty because of payday loans that charge an exorbitant effective interest rates of like 150, 200%. And we can get that down to single and double digit interest rates because the AI automates the whole process, takes all the human out of it, and then we can start building relationships and start exposing the world to the value of decentralized finance, to the value of going mainstream, and in fact, perhaps even leapfrogging over banking system straight into the decentralized finance system. As you all know, the beauty of the blockchain is that it's a standard. It's a global standard that 7 billion people agree on, that ledger entry is immutable, it's rock solid. So the one thing all human beings can agree on is that a ledger entry is permanent, and we agree on what that entry is. So I call it the lasso of truth. So the blockchain is Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, and in that lasso of truth, we can do a lot of commerce on it. So what AngelAi does, what we've developed, is the ability to trade big real-world assets, right, up front on chain. So imagine going to buy a house, okay, and when you create a credit token of yourself, AngelAi will create your personal credit token, and you can put that out to bid. So you can put home sellers in competition for your token. And when that token exchanges, you own the house. So literally the whole process can be done in minutes. Okay, and then that credit token can be put out to bid to any number of banks. So you can trade it to whichever bank gives you the best rate. So this creates complete transparency and broad economic access. So what's the difference between other online banking systems, shopping systems? Because here the bank only sees the token, right? So if you have a credit token for $1 million, saying that you're good for $1 million, right? Bank only sees that token. It doesn't need to see your race, your gender, nothing else, just that token, and it will bid on that token because that's an asset for the bank. Okay, and as a result, since 2018, since we've done over $30 billion of transactions on the platform, and we've solved a major problem in the finance industry, which is the systemic discrimination that happens. So we've cut down the decline rates. So black borrowers and white borrowers have now the same decline rate. You may not know this, but broadly in America, black borrowers are declined at about twice the rate of white borrowers. So for every 2 black borrowers that are declined, 1 should have been approved. Now think about what that means to the economy. That many people are being declined access to credit to reinvest back in the country, to reinvest in their communities, and to get lifted up into building generational wealth. But with the AI taking over the decisioning process, the AI taking over the fulfillment process, we can deliver those decisions in an hour and deliver complete, true transparency and equality. And now, with the Angel Wallet and also Angel Twin, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, we put it all on chain to eliminate all of the trust factors. So this is an example of this is how Angel Wallet works. It's in beta right now, and you literally chat with your wallet, and you can move assets around. You can generate and ask it to mint new digital assets, a true approval token, which is that true approval token is your credit identity, your credit twin, right? That's your essence in terms of your credit profile. That's stored on chain. So this is an example of Angel Twins. These are our engineering team. Basically, this is all twin generated. Basically, you can achieve immortality, at least under the Greek definition of immortality. The ancient Greeks used to believe that the only way to achieve immortality is if Homer wrote an epic about you. So you could be like Hector and Achilles. Okay, now you can achieve that. Everyone can achieve the same immortality by creating your own epic and storing it on chain, and that chain is immutable, lives forever. So the process of using AngelAi, the process of interacting with your twin, the twin's knowledge grows, and you're not giving away your data, you're not giving away your essence, your energy to Google or Facebook or some other Web 2 company, right? You're keeping it for yourself, right? It's estimated that Google has about $60,000 worth of your data that you give it freely. Okay, now all that data is yours on chain in your wallet, in your Angel Wallet. And that Angel Wallet drives your twin, and now you send your twin to work while you can focus on being human. Okay, so here's an example. Deepak Chopra, one of our partners who we created a twin for, and our wonderful partner here, Bill Inman, sitting right here in the front with Twin Protocol, helped develop this. Actually, he developed the Deepak Chopra partnership. And it's really like, he's got over 10,000 subscribers. Deepak Chopra has 20 million followers. He has 10,000 subscribers for his twin. So now his avatar, right, Deepak can be everywhere, all over the world, all at once, right? So imagine you being everywhere all at once for all of your customers, for all of your clients. The local mechanic can be talking to 10 customers at the same time, right? The school teacher can be teaching, one-on-one teaching, 20, 30, 50, 100 kids at one time. That's the whole idea. So Deepak here has over 10,000 people using his twin for wellness coaching constantly. As you interact with Deepak's twin, as you ask it questions, as you interact with it, as he answers it, okay, that data is being collected on chain to be part of his essence, his intelligence, right? With artificial general intelligence, maybe 2 years away at most, right? Imagine each of you having your own AGI twin, right? So you could have a virtual AGI twin and potentially download it into Elon Musk's new robots and have a true physical twin. And that's where we're headed. But that twin is yours on your wallet, not Google's, not Microsoft, but yours, right? Because that data is yours. So your twin, your world, So it starts with your financial twin. With AngelAi, complete access to your financial information and your financial twin that gives you best execution for the most important aspect of your life, which is money. Okay, and then on-chain AI social integration. So think about that for a minute. Your AI, your twin on-chain, integrating, interacting with your circle and the universe. Right? So people who adopt and create twins today, it is like this is the new Web3 social media. Right? You want to be an early adopter, get on, get a twin, get followers, build your network with your twin on chain, and the more you'll capture all the followers now. I mean, move early, right? And that's more powerful your twin becomes. So, for example, one of my sales leaders, he's one of the basically the number one banker in the country, right? He's got years of experience. Okay, so we created his twin on AngelAi. So now his twin, right, is not only has all his knowledge about the lending industry, but it has everything else that Angel comes with. So he's literally become superhuman. His twin is superhuman, has access to information in seconds that he could never do. And every one of his customers can talk to his twin at the same time. So that's where we're headed with this thing. So for the average non-tech person, what does that mean? Well, you know, you've all heard this report, you know this data. 800 million jobs will be affected by AI by 2030. That's just 5 years away. Right? So this is a solution. Because when we sat down and we stopped and think about what really makes you important, what makes your job, right? It isn't the robotic work that you do with your job. What makes your job is your essence, your energy, your life experience that you bring to that work. Okay, that knowledge, right? And the most effective way to become valuable is for you to go out and accumulate more knowledge. It's for you to do what you're doing right now. You're accumulating knowledge, right? You're gaining information. You're generating, 2 megabytes a second of information the average person generates. So let's get that information and store it on chain. So you own that information, okay? And if we get that out to everybody, so everyone's storing their information and storing their essence, their energy, their spirit on chain, and that spirit is then driving their twin, right? So, and their twin can now do the robotic work where they go out and focus on being more creative and innovative. So, Angel Twin, AngelAi, we say nothing is beyond reach because your spirits are infinite. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, sure. So a lot of really interesting stuff there. What do you think some of the biggest challenges standing in your way, perhaps from a regulatory perspective, are?
Okay, actually, because this was built inside a nationally licensed lender, and we have something like 60 nannies, regulatory nannies, right? We have all the states and Freddie, Fannie, HUD, and so forth. So we've already kind of dealt with all those challenges, and we also, a year ago, we went through a FDIC audit, and it was the first ever audit of a full AI bank and full AI lending end-to-end by FDIC. So we basically wrote the book on how that should be done. Okay, because that audit happened literally 3 months after I think it was the OCC who put out a guidance memo that said if you're going to do AI in a bank, you better be able to prove how you made those decisions. Right? So they set that bar, and then they had our audit, and we showed them how that works. And that's one of the things. Like this was built in 2018, and first deal that went through was in 2018. That was like when ChatGPT 1.0, right? So it's a custom neural net, and one of the premises, because it's lending, and because it's finance, right? There's no room for hallucinations, right? I can't hallucinate, oh, I think you have $10 million in your bank, right? That's not going to work. So it has to be very specific. It has to do the math, okay? And most importantly, if it's making a decision, if it's approving, declining somebody, for us to test it, for us to know whether they've done it right, we need to have that audit trail. And that's the key for regulators, right? If you make a decision with an AI on a financial decision, you have to be able to generate the audit trail. How did you make that decision? Why did you come to it? So the way this thing is designed, it leaves that audit trail, right? So we were able to submit that literally, millions of test cases that we have ran and do run on a regular basis, and so they're able to see, and the FDIC was able to examine it and say, yes, it meets the standards. Yes?
How does this affect mortgage rates, and how do you work with Fannie and Freddie and HUD and FHA?
Great questions. Love it. For mortgage rates, it would drive the rates down lower for consumers. So imagine, because what's your name, ma'am? Kathy. Okay, so Kathy has a twin. And that twin is everything about Kathy that she owns on chain, including Kathy's financial twin. And her financial twin is tokenized. Now, so she puts that token up for bid, and she can say 10 banks, 20 banks can bid on that token. And the bank has no friction. When they buy that token, now they own your credit. They own that asset, which is that loan that you borrowed money to buy a house or a car or a student loan or whatever, right? So now banks want to buy those kinds of assets. So you're going to put banks in competition for it, and by them acquiring that token, that's all they have to do, right? It's an on-chain transaction. I got the token, now I have the asset, and that asset complies with all the regulatory requirements. So imagine what that does, because you make it that efficient, what that does to the cost of finance. It drives it down to near nothing. Yes.
Hi, this is Eric. Great presentation, by the way. This is more so if you can expand on the digital twin thing that you said. It's social 3.0 and twin following you across all platforms and learning about you. Can you expand on that?
Yeah. So, in a simple sense, right? It's if you chat with it. Right now, when you chat with ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is learning, right? And the more you chat with this, smarter it gets, right? And it's going in this database. Here, you chat with AngelAi and it's learning, but it's saving that knowledge, that training data, saving it on chain in your wallet. You're not giving it away to anybody, okay? And now, when your twin is up, and let's say you own a local pizza parlor, okay, and your customers order pizza, and they ask for, hey, what's the ingredients, and why don't you use this kind of cheese, where's that kind of cheese, or whatever it is, right? And your twin's answering those questions, and maybe it asks a question that it wasn't trained on, right? Maybe they ask a question about organic cheese that it wasn't trained on. So you'll get a text message saying there's a customer asking your twin a question that your twin doesn't know the answer to, or isn't confident about the answer. You click on the link on the text message, you answer it. Now that the twin has learned one more thing. Okay, every time you speak, every time you pick up the phone, and if you make a phone call through the twin, right, the twin is learning how you speak and learning how you respond. Right? If you send an email to the twin is learning that, and all that is learning about you, right? It's your data, and it's being stored on chain.
So you have to invest in upfront communication with the twin.
Well, you can do that just by using it as learning. It will go through your social media and grab all that. Like with Deepak, it was easy. He has something like 100 books, and we just loaded all his books into the twin, right? So whatever content you have currently, it will take that. You can even crawl through your email. If you give it access to your email, it'll crawl through your emails and learn how you respond to emails.
Could you talk about the copyright issues of if I want my twin to learn how to read books and then feed it a bunch of somebody else's books? What are the copyright issues? The data privacy.
That's a problem. Yeah, I don't think you can train your twin on somebody else's book. I guess you could, but if it used that data if you did commerce with that data, I think you'd have a problem, right? If you use it for yourself, it's probably okay. I'm not a copyright expert on that. And what was the second half of your question? I didn't.
Just the use cases in education. I was thinking you want to have a better opportunity to teach calculus, feed it a calculus textbook. How do we teach it to teach? How do we help it in education? I think is super interesting.
Yeah, I think Deepak Chopra, I mean, you can try it out yourself, go to digitaldeepak.ai, right? And he's teaching wellness, right? So again, a good teacher is how a teacher explains something. It's not necessarily the subject matter, right? So and again, that's the example of essence and spirit, right? And store that on chain. Like a good teacher's content, right? how he explains what an integral is, right? That's what's most important. That's what we want to capture. And now imagine that, if that being stored and then the twin being able to go out and talk to 1 million kids at the same time. What the economic value there is, right? Instead of a teacher making $30,000 or whatever, $80,000 a year, a teacher's making $1 million a year because he's teaching, thousands of kids at the same time.
Hi, do you foresee any regulatory hurdles or barriers with launching a token?
Well, the answer is no, because this is a true utility token. It's not an investment. I think that answers your question.
Thank you. I'm Cedric. I don't have a problem talking with an AI. I don't have a problem for an AI to control my socials. But to control my finance, it's a little bit maybe weirder.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are adding layers to the wallet with the twin, with the AI, with all the functionalities, what about the security and all the new possibilities for hackers to come in?
Well, when you're loading the AI with the data, you can curate it. You can say, or segment it, because this is professional, this is personal, right? And you can decide to exclude your personal interactions from Angel. So that's the decision you make, right? We put that control in you. And it says secure as any other on-chain asset is, and it's subject to those same kinds of vulnerabilities, and which is hard. There have been plenty of stories of people's wallets getting hacked, and that's usually due to human error, carelessness. Well, they need to get retooled, right, and re-educated. Right, so where do we get the 800 million number from? It's PricewaterhouseCoopers said $15 trillion will be added to the economy by 2030. So if you just do the math backwards, there'll be 800 million people will be affected. Maybe not completely lose their job, but big impact on how many hours they'd be working. If you just did 15 trillion divided by $20 an hour, it comes out to something like 300 million or almost 400 million full-time workers, right? And if so 800 million it's not hard at all to get to that number. So if those people we're going from, it's a change in the world. We're going from being, administrators and doing the robotic work over and over again, which is most people's jobs are basically robotic, to going from that to basically being free thinkers. Right. And when you're free thinkers, then you're generating data, and you're generating powerful, important data. And your value is in the exchange and interchange of that information with other free thinkers. Right? Human beings weren't meant to sit in a desk all day long and in front of a computer and crank the same things or take phone calls all day long or whatever it is. Thank you all for watching this great show. Got wonderful interaction from the audience and beautiful questions, and clearly a very sophisticated audience, and the kind of questions that we got I wasn't even expecting, but when came up wonderfully.